Okay, just a quick one, he says, hopefully. I've got the basic square shape now. I've put quite a bit more clay on the sides. You can see I thinned it out here so I can scallop it in here if I want to. Pretty much bolted the console into all of the car, bolted up or screwed up two retaining plates, and then just took a tool off that and skimmed along to get the sides parallel. So now we have a constant dimension all the way along there. And it's actually about 140 millimeters wide, 70 millimeters from the centre line. And she's pretty parallel, pretty square. Now, from that I'll produce whatever shapes I want to do. But it's easy to start from a square block, pretty much. I'm going to relieve. You can see where the black tape line is here. Pretty much I'll stand back so you can actually see it. The lower half of this tape line, maybe to here, I may go up here as well. The lower half of that tape line will be a carpet piece. So there'll be a trimmed carpet edge with a whatever that'll go in here. Now, at the moment this is obviously flat. What I'll do is I'll get this edge here and I'll lift that up 5 millimeters. So basically I'll put a 5 millimeter piece of sheet wax around this edge and then build this up and then skim off the sheet wax to get that edge right. So basically I'll have a 5 millimeter added either side, so it'll be 150 instead of 140. Well, that 5 mil will then allow me to put the carpet up here, so the carpet will butt up to the side. So this edge here will look like it blends into the face of the carpet, whereas technically the carpet's actually inset 5 mil. Now whether I do the carpet to here and leave this all whatever, or whether I continue the carpet up and do everything there, so you have to make that decision. So that's one of the first things I'm going to do, which physically makes this 5 millimeters wider, but not for very long, and then it's soft trimmed carpet, so it doesn't matter if you're rubbing on it too much. Offsetting the stereo to one side, which is I think where I'm going to go, will allow me to put start button, traction control, whatever the hell I want to put down here. The angle that I've presently got this here, I'm still going to keep this. I don't want to don't alter that too much. That flows nicely into here. But what I am going to do, instead of having this there, I'm going to lift up this part of the nose, lift back end. Just going to space it, throw it in. So exaggerated. No, just exaggerate it. What the hell? Exaggerate it. It's going to be kind of like that. So instead of taking the whole surface from left to right at that curve, what I'm going to do is actually just raise this section. So where this sits, it'll be up. So basically it'll start from nothing, and this will curve down, but the center piece will actually raise up. So there'll be a step kind of here, and then this will be up at that angle, and then you'll have a nice curved interim there, and lift that back up. There's plenty of room. The gear stick sticks up kind of out here, so there's plenty of room to lift this just to give it more of a feature. Makes it look a shorter throw. You could probably shorten the gear stick actually if you wanted to come down a bit, but that's up to you. I want it quite reasonably high. So I've got to build this surface out 5 mil either side. I want to build that up, but only just underneath this, so it'll pretty fall to that shape and then radius in. And these edges here, I'm going to build this up probably, like say, 1/2 inch out, and come out to that. So that'll be a kind of 1/2 inch up from here. So that gives me kind of a wall either side. I can't go too much, obviously, because if the stereo head unit does turn that way, then obviously it needs to be clear. But you can see by even just a standard trim, you're looking at 3/8 of an inch or thereabouts for the stereo to be in. So as long as I'm probably under about 3/4 of an inch, I'm going to be fine. So I'll raise these sections up a 1/2 inch, so it'll look like a pillar, kind of down to here, and then it'll blend just a small rad into here, into there again. Not be dead straight. There will be a rad at the bottom. So 5 mil here, probably 1/2 inch here, raise it up there. That's the first steps, and then we'll go for whatever kind of detail work I want on here. If I want anything, Mr. Steve_D could put a cup holder there if he wanted to, but he's already got a car, so probably not. But yes, cup holders, God knows what, you know what I mean. You could be do whatever proverbial you want, but that's the idea of having carpet up to here. Having carpet actually, this at the moment, okay, it looks flat to the table, but technically this is already sat on the chassis, which conveniently is actually that thick at the bottom. So if you look at the actual car, then there'll be a gap of 3/4 of an inch from the bottom of here to the bottom plate of the chassis, so it won't meet it. So you'll have a kind of you'll have a gap. Now I want to be able to lower this enough so that I can actually get it out, so you can actually manoeuvre the thing out of the cabin with the dash and everything inside. So when you finish the car, you want to be able to kind of remove this if you want to be able to do something behind it. So obviously the stereo is going to be on a plug, gear sticks, just etc, etc. So one way of doing that is to actually have this raised up. So what I'll do is I'll put an aluminum bend on the chassis that comes. That's probably too easy enough. I'll do aluminum plate basically from here that'll come along to that edge and then come up at 90 degrees, and I'll just put one either side and continue it down there wherever I need it. And I'll riven up the aluminum so that I can screw the centre console in it. Now, if I actually chop probably another half an inch or so of here, that allows me, if I untick the screws, the centre console will drop enough to lift me and twist me so I can actually get her out. And by putting carpet here, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realise that if I do that, then the carpet I can cut long enough that it touches the floor, so it'll cover up the transition between the fiberglass and the aluminum plate. And I can just put a couple of bits of Velcro on the carpet, so it just Velcros into the aluminum, so you're not going to see it. So the carpet will be a continuous joint to the floor, and you won't see it, but it'll then allow it to sink half an inch, 3/4 of an inch, I think it's about all I need, and then I can literally pull and take the console out. Probably, would I need to take the seats out? Don't know. Don't think so. I think the seats will still be clear. So you can take the center console in and out whenever you want, basically. Final build, drawing it, doesn't matter. So progress the last couple of days. Okay, see you in a bit.